Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 22 October 2020. It's a Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And it is. What a fun sale we have for you guys tonight. 32 sale lots, 33 total items. And the range is staggeringly long. We have inexpensive knives. We have 4-digit customs. We have traditional slip joint pocket knives. We got fixed blades. We got modern folders. We got discontinued rare collectible. It's going to be fun. Before we get into the inventory, a little bit of housekeeping. As always, I'm going to post on the screen for you in just a moment the terms of the sale. Please be familiar with and agreeable to them before you attempt to purchase a knife on this sale. I'm also going to reprint the terms in the description underneath this video if you'd like to peruse them at your leisure without pausing the screen. Also in the description above the terms you will see 3 links to previous videos. The first one is to my primer for buyers video. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. That'll get you familiar with how to purchase a knife. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. That will cover all the whys and wherefores and the structure of how it works from the seller's perspective if you'd like to move some of your collection along using this weekly sales event. The third link is the rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. And right now, guys, backlog is low, under 3 weeks. So if you have some stuff that needs work, this is the time to send it. So you've got those 3 links in the description. Then the terms of the sale at the very bottom, you'll find the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps to the video and pricing. The number to the left of the slash is your as shown price. The number to the right, the as sharpened price. There will be next day sharpening available for the first 6 knives purchased to be sharpened this evening. So they will ship tomorrow, the 23rd. If you're outside that first 6 and you want your knife sharpened, it'll be about 3 weeks before it ships. I think that's about it for housekeeping. Oh, if you see the word sold in lieu of pricing, that means the knife has a new owner. It's bought, paid for, on its way. I think that's it. Let's get you the terms on the screen. We'll be right back with the inventory. Here are the terms. Okay, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we have just one leftover from last week's sale. I'm kind of surprised this little beauty made it through Saturday, but it did. What we're looking at is a knife from Shank Knives, the Wind River collection. This is the Tier 1 model. It comes with a signed certificate of authenticity. Looks like it's Tier 1 number 19. Made September 19th of this year. It is nearly a brand new knife. These knives sold out quickly, by the way. And here is the little beauty. A gorgeous handle shape. Nicely contoured and bead blasted titanium. It is a ball bearing flipper with a pretty cool drop point blade with a little bit of recurve in it, fashioned of Elmax steel, 3 1/8 inches long. It is a ball bearing pivot. The lock interface on this titanium frame lock, if you can see inside, uses that sort of Chris Reeves style large ceramic ball bearing. Pretty interesting. It's also got a large ceramic ball bearing in that milled titanium clip. The ball bearing mechanism works superbly. Great flipping action. Stiff lock bar tension, but still drops nicely. Centering is beautiful. A super well crafted knife. Got a Hinderer style lock bar stabilizer. Very, very nice product. It's near mint to like new in the box. They are out of stock everywhere, as I said. They sold for $3.99 web pricing. We ran it last week for $3.50, got no takers, dropped it on Saturday to $3.25. It's still here. Somebody gets this knife for the bargain price of $2.95. That's right, $2.95, then $3.20 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Shank Knives Wind River Tier 1. On to the fresh stuff. This is one of many highly collectible knives this week from Emerson. This one comes in that sort of new style Emerson box. The tag on the back says CQC 7B NWBT Right Grind X023. What does all that mean? Well, here you go. This is the Area 51 limited edition. I've got lint in the G10. Imagine that on an Emerson with brand new G10. Yeah. Look at that beauty, would ya? No wave on the CQ7. Look, the blade is backwards. It's a right-hand grind. 154 cm. There is your lock engagement. Action pretty nice and smooth for an Emerson. Centering, it's hard to tell with that chisel grind, but it's very close to perfect centering. Action is stupendous for an Emerson. Very, very nice one. So if you are a right-hander who's always been baffled by the backwards chisel grind of an Emerson, here's your knife. And it is that Area 51 limited edition. We're going to call this one near mint to like new in box. And not only do you get that, but you get this. It is a Benchmade strap cutter. I think these sold new for like 50 bucks or something. And we're throwing it in with the Area 51 CQ7. The whole package, $210, guys. $210. And then $235 if you'd like my edge on that Emerson. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, from our pals in Titusville, PA, Great Eastern Cutlery, from their handcrafted Titty Cutlery line, we have a number 828318 Dixie Stockman in natural canvas micarta. It is a Dogleg 3-blade Stockman. Natural canvas micarta. The hardware is satin. It appears like the owner has given it a little polish. Main blade is going to be a muskrat clip. Of course, 1095 steel. Middle blade, Warncliffe. Everything on cam tangs, by the way. Third blade, a little stubby drop point. Very usable blade set. Nice walk and talk. Where's my nail nick? There we go. About a 6 pull, we'll say. Walk and talk, very nice for a GEC cam tang. Blade alignment is good. A little bit of slight rub as you're going to have with pretty much any Stockman knife. I think I saw some very slight patina on one blade. Where was it? Yeah, right there on the Warncliffe. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. It's very slight. 30 seconds with some flits, all you need. We're going to call this near mint in tube. Your price, 85 bucks, 85, 120. I sharpen all 3 blades. That's the GEC Titty number 82 Dixie Stockman. Next up, we've got a run of brand new fixed blade knives from a new maker, Carolina way, Frank Velez steel sharp knives. So the first of 7 we're running for Frank tonight is a knife that I am calling the steel sharp 3-inch spear point utility with red and natural wood handles, 3/16 stock, 1095 steel, brass pins, black Kydex sheath, and an acid etch. Let's take a look at it, shall we? The Kydex a little rattly. And there's the blade. Acid etch 1095. Now you're going to see some oil on the blade. Frank ships these well oiled. Nice little faceted wood handle. Pretty decent ergonomics. Blade length is 2 7/8 inches. Handle length 3 5/8. Nice coarse jimping. Works well in all grips. Set up for horizontal carry is that Kydex sheath. New from the maker. Your price, $70. Handmade custom fixed blade. $90 if you like my edge on it. I will say this, Frank does a good job on his maker's edges. Next up, number 2 from Steel Sharp Knives, Frank Velez. There's Frank's card and contact information. This one I am calling the Steel Sharp 2-inch utility, 1095 blade steel. I believe this is also 3/16 thick. Paracord handle, black Kydex sheath. Just throw it in the pocket. Kydex a little bit loose. Look at that little. It looks like a little shiv, but man, what a usable little blade. Very comfortable cord wrapped handle. I mean, very comfortable. Also got a little bead on the back. I think that's just acid etched steel tubing. So blade length on this one is 2 inches. Handle 3 1/4. That's one of the most comfortable cord wrapped handles I've ever had in my hand. Deeply acid etched blade. Again, a little bit of shipping oil from Frank on that thing. A really nice maker's edge, guys. Your price on this one, brand new from the maker, handmade custom, $45. Now if you'd like me to sharpen it, add $15, so $60, but I think it's really kind of ready to rock as it is. That's in your inventory as the Steel Sharp 2-inch utility. Next up, knife number 3 from Frank Velez Steel Sharp Knives. This one is going to be in your inventory as Steel Sharp 3-inch drop point utility. It's got blue and green and natural laminated wood handle, 3/16 stock, 1095 steel, acid etched with brass pins and a black Kydex sheath. And here is the knife. Horizontal carry Kydex. Nice little thumb break. Beautiful spear point blade. Nice acid etch. There is your blue-green and natural laminated wood handle. Again, very, very nice in the hand. The blade is 3 inches in length. The handle is 4. Nice coarse hand-done jimping. A cool acid etch. It's kind of neat how Frank finished this. So the etch took kind of at different hues due to the way he finished the blade. Very, very neat. That is a pretty doggone useful little knife. Again, a handmade custom. Your price on this one, guys, is going to be $80, like it is, $100 with my edge, but Frank does a nice maker's edge. I think I'd use it like it is. That is in your inventory as Steel Sharp 3-inch drop point utility. Next up, knife number 4 from Frank at Steel Sharp Knives, new maker down in Carolina. There's his card. On the back it tells us about the knife. We're calling this one the Steel Sharp 3-inch clip point utility. The handles are red heartwood. Blade is 3/16 thick, 1095. It has brass pins and a copper lanyard tube. Black Kydex sheet. Look at that little package. Got a little rattle on the Kydex. Nice thumb break. And we have a satin finish blade this time. Again, we've got some shipping oil from Frank. Look at that thing, huh? Nice faceted red heartwood handle. They all just present so nicely into the work, these steel sharp knives. Blade length on the clip point, 3 1/8, handle 3 5/8. That red heartwood, very nice. And again, a very nice maker's edge from Frank. This one is going to be in your inventory as the, come on, Ron. There we go. The steel sharp 3-inch clip point utility. Your price, $80, new from the maker, shipped priority mail, $100 if you'd like my edge on it, but again, don't think it needs it. Next up, number 5 from Frank. Frank Vella's Steel Sharp Knives, Carolina. This knife is going to be in your inventory as the Steel Sharp 4-inch drop point rasp knife. The handle is black and green linen micarta. The blade is made from a Farrier rasp, so maybe 5160. And then it's got brass pins and a black Kydex sheet. So we're getting a little bigger. Nice thumb break on the Kydex, a well-oiled, deeply acid-etched rasp blank. And let's see, again, Frank killing it with the maker's edge, guys. We have sort of rustic, finished, crude knives, but they're ground nice and thinly, and a superb maker's edge. Look at that black and green linen. How's that handle? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come forward and pinch it, you bet. Super nice. Blade length measures in at 4 1/8. The handle 4 inches. Brand new from the maker with the Kydex sheath. Your price on the rasp knife is going to be $125, $125, and $145 with my edge. But again, I think I'd use it with Frank's maker's edge on it. It's very nice. That's the Steel Sharp 4-inch drop point rasp knife. Next up, number 6 from Frank Vella's Steel Sharp Knives. This one's going to be in your inventory as Steel Sharp Nightmare Clip. 1095 steel, 3/16 thick, dark walnut handles, brass pins, acid etch, and a black Kydex sheath. There's the package. Breaks with the thumb nicely. Check out that blade, huh? Deeply acid etched. We have a flat grind in the main section, and then what appears to kind of be a convex on the tanto end. Very nice. Nice hand applied jimping. Really good in hand. Every one of these knives I pick up, the handles are just super good in hand. Look at that dark, almost black finished walnut. Nicely done. So blade length on this one, 3 11/16. Handle length is 4 1/4. If Frank has anything to work on, it would be the fitment of his sheaths. They'll kind of rattle a little bit. This is set up for horizontal carry either side. Your price on the package, $1.25, guys. $125 for this handmade custom. $145 with my edge on it, but I don't think it needs sharpened. It's in your inventory as the Steel Sharp Nightmare Clip. And next up, the last of Frank's stuff. This is, again, from Frank Vella's Steel Sharp Knives, Carolina. This is going to be in your inventory as the Steel Sharp 4-inch Bushcrafter. The stock is 1/8 inch thick, 1095, as a bushcraft knife should be. The handle is blue and charcoal laminated wood handles with yellow liners, brass pins, and a black Kydex sheath. There is your folded Kydex bushcraft sheath with an integrated sort of J-clip for the belt. How about that? And inside there's probably a knife. Wow, that's secure. Look at that, huh? There's your 1/8" 1095. Look at those handles. And as a bushcrafter knife should have, it's got a big, fat, grippable handle to minimize fatigue. It's got a great forward pinch grip. All your bushcrafting grips are going to be really, really nice and comfortable. Blade length is 4 3/8. The handle 4 11/16. Nicely hafted. How's that maker's edge? Man, he is killing it, guys. New from the maker. Your price on this one, $135 for the handmade custom bushcraft knife. The steel sharp 4-inch bushcrafter. $135 is your price. $155 with my edge, but I don't think it needs to be sharpened. Can't say that about too many handmade custom fixed blades. $135 on the steel sharp 4-inch bushcrafter. Okay, next up, another fixed blade. This is a really cool little knife. So look at that little package, huh? Beautiful Kydex sheath. Beautiful Kydex sheath from Armatus. Also has a large tech lock installed. That's a real tech lock, by the way. Inside all that, and what a great fit. Super nice fit, zero rattle, nice thumb break. The knife inside is the K-Bar Sb4. So this knife is actually sold as a nothing, right? A skeleton handled, crinkle coat epoxy, little utility knife. But my consignor has added the poly scales, Becker brand poly scales, and then the Armatus sheath and the tech lock. That whole package would have sold new, did sell new for $135. You can have it ready to rock, all scaled up with a beautiful sheath, near mint, no box. $100 shipped to you, priority mail. $100. $120 if you'd like it with my edge. That's in your inventory as the K-Bar Sb4. Next up, I've wanted to have one of these in my hands for a long time, and now I do. The Enzo Borca Model 90. Very distinctly European in nature. So the Enzo Borca has a beautiful drop point blade of Bowler N690. Just so you know, guys, up near the thumb stud, there's a little tiny bit of spotting. Again, 30 seconds with some flips. Full flat ground blade. The length is 3.5 inches. The handle 4 11/16. And again, hand filling, nicely contoured, blasted G10. Stainless steel line, but it is a lockback knife, and it's got a lot of spring, but the action is very light. It'll drop. Centering is beautiful. Lockup is rock solid. Now you notice that the thumb studs are nestled very tight to the G10. So if you want to get it out easily, we have what appears to have been an EDM cut through nail neck. Okay, and just so you know, there is over here on the pile side, there's a little flaw in that EDM cut. That's probably there on every one of these, but who cares? This is a working knife. Let's see. If you buy one of these new on the web, it's going to run you $140, by the way, reversible tip-up pocket clip. So $140 plus who knows in shipping to get one to you. This one can be yours near mint, no box, $98, $98, and then $118 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Enzo Borca Model 90. By the way, next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, let's see. We had a very collectible Emerson. Now we're going to go very collectible traditional for just a moment. You won't believe this, guys. I'm telling you, you ain't going to believe it. What does it say? Chicago Cutlery. Chicago Cutlery. Now, it's essentially a gift set that's new in the box. That the clear plastic's showing a little bit of wear. But look at that. Nice cardboard box. Velvet coated plastic insert. And here's what you get. The star of the show, I guess, is this Dogleg Stockman, produced for Chicago Cutlery by Schrade. American walnut handles, 4-inch Stockman. Main blade, a clip point with a long match striker pull. It's even got the Chicago Cutlery tang stamp. Cam tangs, strong pull, good snap, about 7.5 on the pull. Center blade, a sheep's foot. Third blade is a little spay. Even the shield is Chicago Cutlery. Very cool. And then you're going to get with it a honing rod that looks like it's never been out of the box, and a leather sheath I don't think the knife has ever resided in. Oh yeah, it has. And it still smells like the original oil they applied to it. How cool is that? It's got a little instruction book on how to use your honing rod, use and care instructions. How about that, guys? Huh? Yeah, so your price for the Chicago Cutlery Schrade gift set, if I can get everything back together, is going to be $150, and we're definitely calling this near mint in box. Good luck finding one. That's a piece of American cutlery history right there, my friends. So $150, like it is. I would not suggest you have it sharpened, but if you want me to sharpen all three blades on that Stockman, add $35, so $185 sharpened. How about that? I know some guy older than me is going to want that, and he should. Next up, from the Sublime to the CRKT. Next up, we have the CRKT CEO, which I guess is a letter opener. It's a pocket knife, but it's kind of an executive letter opener by CRKT. Designed to be carried in a shirt pocket with the tip down. Nicely tucked thumb stud. Oh, look at that. It's on ball bearings. You thought that was a spring, but it's not. It's a ball bearing knife with a thumb stud. It actually drops nicely. Stainless steel liner lock. Some glass reinforced nylon scales that are molded to look like carbon fiber, and they're pretty doggone handsome. Nice little end cap. Cool knife. Blade steel is 8CR13 MOV. The blade length 3 1/8. Well, if you put your fingers over the blade spine when you're trying to open it, it won't open. Kind of a Quaken shaped blade. Let's see, lockup is solid. Centering's down the middle. We're going to call it near mint, no box. I think these knives sell new at your favorite web retailer for $40, but at that price you got to probably pay shipping. You can buy this one like it is, shipped priority mail for $30, $30, and then $50 with an ApostleP edge. That's the CRKT CEO. Next up, time to go to Bradford, PA, for an offering from the W.R. Case & Sons Cutlery Company. Inside the box we have a model 72109XSS, and it is a mini Copperhead. A mini Copperhead. What a great little fifth pocket knife this is. The handle material, or the cover material on this one, is antique river log. Antique river log. Looks like oak or chestnut to me. Very cool little knife, guys. 3 1/8 inches closed length. Main blade is a clip point, hollow ground on a cam tang. Very nice walk and talk. About a 6 pull. And it is an opposite end jack, no liner down the middle. You are going to get some blade rub. Nice little pen secondary. We'll call this one near mint in box. Your price, $40. And then $65 for me to sharpen both blades. That is in your inventory as the Case Mini Copperhead. Next up, we got a little run of Titusville, Pennsylvania made knives at Queen Cutlery. The first one is the Queen Cutlery Tool Steel line, and the knife inside is a number 19 CZ, which is a curved handle trapper, nickel silver bolsters, and Q shield, brass liners, and look at the covers on this baby, would you? Look at that. That is curly zebra African hardwood. Look at the chatoyance in that stuff. Blade set is going to be muskrat clip with the Queen Cutlery Company number 19 etch. The tool steel, by the way, is D2. We've got cam tang, about a 7 pull. Secondary blade, the long secondary is a spay. Excellent walk and talk, excellent near perfect centering. Condition on this one is near mint to like new in box. Look at that handle material. Your price on this one, guys, $70. $70 on the Queen number 19 CZ Trapper. $100 for me to sharpen both blades. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. Next up, we have one in a Queen box, but it's a Shatten Morgan knife. This is the Shatten Morgan Stag Trapper. It also appears to be a 19 pattern, by the way. 4 3/16 inches in closed length, about 4 1/8 actually on this one. Blades are going to be 1095. The covers are Sambar Stag. Looks to have been torched just a little bit. Keystone shield, nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. Main blade muskrat clip on a cam tang. Cut swedge and a nail neck. About a 6.5 pull. Beautiful, silky, smooth action, guys. Oh, nail neck's on the back on the spay. Decent polish for a Queen knife. Looks like this was made in 2006. Unbelievable walk and talk for a Queen product. Blade centering is pretty doggone nice. Condition is near mint to like new in the box. Your price, $100 on the Shatten Morgan Stag Trapper. $130 for me to sharpen both blades. That's a beauty for the now extinct Queen Cutlery Company and Shatten Morgan. Next up, we got another Shatten Morgan produced at Queen Cutlery. This one is a number 40 Shatten Morgan gun stock in white bone. Oh yeah. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. Got the corset shield, angled, lined, pinched, bolsters, Gorgeous smooth white bone. Gorgeous smooth white bone. We have a stunning clip point blade with a long pull and a forward nail nick in that cut swedge. I believe the blade steel on these is $10.95. Look at that clip. We have half stops. We got beautiful walk and talk. 7.5 pull. What's that? That is like near perfect to perfect centering on a queen product. Yeah, you know, the finishing is what it is. Very nice pocket knife and a stunning little knife. Let's see, the closed length on this one is 3 9/16, so a little smaller than a 44 GEC, I think. Your price on this one, near mint to like new in the tube or in the box, $95, guys, $95. Then $110 if you like my edge on it. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Shatten Morgan number 40 gun stock. Next up, we have a knife that hails from Pleasanton, Texas. It came from the hand of one Bill Rupel. There's the pouch. Here is the knife, and I just hope the camera will do this justice. We have a curved handle trapper, 3 7/16 inches in closed length, polished nickel silver bolsters and end caps. All steel guts, though. Now, are those... I gotta look here. I said nickel silver, but I think those might be polished steel bolsters and end caps. The cover material is Westinghouse micarta. The shield appears to be like a black paper micarta, and then it's got very thin black liners. See those? The construction is mill relieved liners. So the liners are relieved to round bosses that act like washers. So you can get a silky, smooth, luxurious, light pull weight. Perfect half stop. Pull weight is about a 6, and it's unbelievably nice. Main clip, hand rubbed horizontal satin. Now, just so you know, the nail nicks are very shallow. So in order to get purchase, it appears that the blade has been pushed against that center liner, so there is some vertical rub in that hand rub satin. And I think that is true for both blades. Not as pronounced on the spay, but right here toward the tip there's a little bit. But essentially it's a like new knife. We'll call it near mint. By the way, the blade centering from Bill Rupel, perfect. I think if you buy one of these new, you're probably pushing $2,000. This one can be yours for $10.50. $10.50 like it is. $10.80 for me to sharpen both blades. Not saying you really want to do that. Okay? That is the Bill Rupel Custom Trapper. Next up, I think this is the most fun knife in the sale. From Case, we have, to turn the page. We have a number 6354 SS Hobo. Let's check it out. By the way, they're calling this amber bone. Okay. Nickel silver. Looks like one brass liner and then some steel liners. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Well, we'll pull out the main blade, which is a muskrat clip in true sharp stainless, full height hollow ground on a cam tang. The pull weight, 7.5, let's say. And the walk and talk is pretty good. Let's see, I have now cut my food and it's time to eat. So why don't we pull out our fork with a cap lifter at the base, extend it fully, and then we'll just take that off. And let's see, we might have some pudding to eat for dessert, so we'll extend the spoon and we'll just take it off. And then we'll pull out our knife. How about that? How about that, my friends? That's not cool at all. Let's see, we'll put that back. I need to just keep this and give it to Rafe. We'll put the spoon back. And we'll put the fork back. And we're done. How about that? How about that? It's just fun. Let's see, you can buy these new at your favorite web retailer for $104. This one can be yours. Shipped, priority mail, near mint, no box, $75. $75. $95. You want me to sharpen that muskrat clip blade. That's the case 6354 SS Hobo. Yeah. Next up, from back in the 90s, we have an old timer from Schrade. What's the tank stamp say? I think it says Schrade USA 50T. Yes. This is the Schrade Old Timer 50T Bruin. A beautiful little pocket knife. 3 3/4 inches in closed length, a single spear point blade. A lockback mechanism that is just beautiful. Perfect lockup, nice smooth action, perfect centering, or very close. Yeah, it's close enough, we'll call it perfect. The handle covers are saw cut Delrin. Guys, these were not expensive knives, but they are extremely well made. Here we are 20-something years later. Now, granted, this knife is pretty much not seen any use, but it's awesome. Steel pivot rivet, which Schrade did on many of their knives. Better than buck. Oh, what a great little knife. Near mint, no box. Great little pocket knife. $35 shipped, priority mail. $50 with my edge on it. That's the Schrade Old Timer 50T Bruin. Next up, another one from the 90s, a Schrade Old Timer. This is going to be the Old Timer 123OT Pioneer. Kind of an old timer take on a curved handle trapper or a folding hunter, right? Gorgeous clip point blade. Full flat ground. Cam tang action, 6.5 pull, pinchable. No side play. Perfect walk and talk. Perfect centering. Nickel silver bolsters and end caps. Brass liners. Saw cut Delrin handle. Near mint, no box. Just been sitting around gathering a little hazy tarnish over the years. Your price on this one, $40. 40. 60 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Schrade Old Timer 123OT Pioneer. Next up, another one from the early 90s from Schrade. This was a commemorative knife to mark 75 years of the National Park Service. Comes in a nice little presentation box. Plastic molded liner with a velvet applied fabric. And here's the knife. It's the Schrade 515SC National Park Service knife. Basically the same pattern as the 50T that we just saw a couple minutes ago. So it's a 3 3/4 inch closed length lockback knife with a single spear blade with the National Park Service 75th anniversary etch. Lockback 0 side play. Beautiful action. Centering is close. Scrimshaw pattern showing a bison on a high mountain prairie. I think that's a Delrin material, but that's not a printed on, that's an etched in scrimshaw. Condition on this is near mint in box. Your price, $65. $65. That's the Schrade 515 SC National Park Service. And let's see, $80 if you want me to sharpen it. So $65 like it is, $80 sharpened, and next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. Okay, next up, I think the Hobo is the most fun knife in the sale. This gotta be the next most fun. From one of the great scoundrels in American cutlery history, Jim Parker. This is one of his Parker Eagle brand knives. It's a number 1310 with genuine black mother of pearl handles in the original box. I'm thinking late 80s-ish, maybe 90s, maybe. So it comes in a nicely made leather boot sheath, and when we take the knife out, what on earth is that? A little stubby handle, just 3 inches in length, and then the handle a little longer, or the blade a little longer than the handle, 3 1/16, and that is a double-edged bayonet ground dagger made in Japan with surgical steel, so some kind of stainless. So you got a little flat to manipulate the blade with. Why would you need to manipulate the blade? Here's why. This is how you carry it in the sheath, but should circumstances dictate, it's a lock back. Depress the lock and it folds to there. And you have a push dagger. Is it better here? Yeah, it might be better there. How about that, guys? And is it locked up tight? Yes, it is. I mean tight. Let's look at the handle a minute. There's that black mother of pearl. Then you've got a nickel silver sub-hilt bolster, and then a nickel silver front bolster. Those are actually functioning, right? Because there's a pivot right there. How cool is that? And it locks up superbly in both positions. That is a cool knife. Just to have around. What a conversation piece. Let's see. The Parker Eagle brand folding dagger. Your price, $50. $80 for me to sharpen both edges. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. And I think I'm going to call that near mint to like new in box. Next up, another piece of history, my friends. Another piece of history from Buck. We have a Buck Strider Sb4. Similar in size to the Strider SNG. So we've got a very well textured FRN handle, riveted construction, but the blade does have an adjustable pivot, and I think it's on big, thick phosphor bronze washers, stainless steel line. There's your blade. I think these were 420HC. I don't have a marking on the blade. Very cool blasted swedge. And then a stonewash blade, combo edge. Liner lock knife, but it's rock solid. Very nice smooth action. Beautiful centering. Yeah. Yeah. Reversible tip-up pocket clip. How about that? Condition on this one, guys, is very near mint. I mean very near mint. Blade length is 3 and 9/16. I think that puts it in SNG range. Handle 4 3/4. That is so cool. I don't think they're making those anymore. Your price, $125, $125, and then $145 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, from Columbia River Knife and Tool, we have a Crktm 21-14 with the blasted and then dark gray anodized aluminum scales. They look a lot like titanium, but they're not. So we've got a flipper mechanism. I'm sure this is riding on washers. Now, having said that, let me look. Yeah, I think they're nylon even. So we got a flipper mechanism that works very well. We have the auto locks system, the Lake and Walker knife safe. Yeah. Anyway, it's a spring-loaded release that disables the liner lock, right? You guys all know this deal. Nice little recurve combo edge blade, 4 inches in length. 8CR13 MOV steel, I think. 8CR14. The blade's 4 inches. The handle's 5 5/16. Perfect action. Perfect lockup. Centering looks right down the middle. There's a couple tiny little nicks in the handle finish, but we're going to call it near mint, no box. Your price for this one, guys, $40. 40 like it is. 60 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's in your inventory is Crktm 21-14. Next up, have we had some historically significant knives or what tonight? Well, we got another one. I teased you about this yesterday. That looks an awful lot like a CQC7, doesn't it? Well, it is. It certainly is. However, it is a Benchmade Emerson CQC7. Look at the butterfly. I believe that says Bal-E-Song. Then Benchmade USA. The blade steel is ATS 34. And this is the Emerson Spec War model CQC7. No wave, but we do have the thumb plate, thumb disc. This will be riding on Nylotron washers. It's smoother than a new Emerson. That should be a stainless steel liner lock, I think, back in the Benchmade days. Condition on this knife is very near mint. There's a little scratch in the G10, and there's a little hickey at the tip. But it's pretty slight. I don't know if you can see that very well. But yeah. So we're going to call this near mint, no box. When did they make these, guys? You will know better than I, but I'm thinking early 90s with the blade steel and the butterfly that we're looking at. Yeah, how about that? So cool. You know these aren't cheap. If this were absolutely mint with the box, it'd be a $350 knife. But it doesn't have a box, and it does have a slight mark in the G10 and a little bit of a tip situation. Easily remedied by sharpening, by the way. Your price, $225. $225 like it is. $250 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. It's the Benchmade Emerson CQC7 Spec War. Next up, talk about an oldie but a goodie, a modern classic. How about a Kershaw Blur? Black hard anodized aluminum with, man, that feels like the old sandpaper skateboard tape that doesn't feel like track tack. Inside that beautiful Ken Onion handle is that beautiful Ken Onion. Oh, whoa, it's a Tonto. Yes, it is. DLC coated Tonto, combo edge. Manufacturer date on this one says July of 06, I believe. Can you all read that? That's going to make it Sandvik 13C26 blade steel, I believe. Parkerized old style Kershaw onion clip. Liner lock, beautifully engaged, zero blade play. Blade centering is very close to perfect. Got the speed safe spring assist mechanism working perfectly. You betcha. Near mint, no box. Your price, $45.70 if you'd like an Apostle P edge on it. That's the Kershaw Blur Tanto. Next up, oh guys, we got the good stuff tonight. Y'all remember a knife from Benchmade called the Benchmade 13220 LFK? Did it look something like that? What? What? Yeah, it looked something like that. This, however, is not a Benchmade 13220 LFK. This is a Benchmade 10100, if you can read the model number. Under the butterfly, you probably can't. Maybe you can. If you zoom, I don't know. Why is it a 10100 instead of a 13220? Well, perhaps because it is a prototype manufactured in 2006. Also, made in Taiwan. I think the production LFKs were made in China, but I can't remember for sure. Steigerwalt design. What makes this knife cool? Well, you've got a knife that's a stainless steel liner lock with pillar construction. Then you got handle scales that are hard black anodized aluminum with some grippy soft rubber gray inserts, and in the hand it's wonderful. But the star of the show is that we have a blade 5 1/4 inches long. The prototypes are in 440C, as the etch will tell you behind the thumb stud, if I can get out of the shadows. Left or right hand, tip down carry. Why tip down? Well, here's why. Because that 5 1/4 blade has to fit in a 4 15/16 handle. How's it going to do that? Look! A blade guard flips out of the handle and back in with the blade to protect your tip. And I think that is also hard anodized aluminum. Check it out, guys, if I can do this without whacking the camera. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Now, it's not going to free drop because that mechanism inside pushes the blade guard. But yeah, it flicks right out of that handle. A 5 1/4 inch bladed folding liner lock with a short handle. How about that? You know, I don't know. That might be an FRN blade guard. I don't know. It's even got phosphor bronze washers. Look at that. What a cool knife. The LFK in general is a cool knife, but this is a prototype. Wow. I found completed listings on eBay. These are out there. Completed listings on eBay between, well, there are 2 of them that sold, one for $335 and one for $429. Then there was one listed at $650 that sold on a best offer, but we don't know what it sold for. This one can be yours for $295. $295 shipped, priority mail. $325 if you like it with an Apostle P edge. That is the Benchmade 10100 LFK prototype. Next up, from a Sniper Blade Works, we have an unassuming big old folder with a custom lanyard and a skull bead. This is the Sniper Blade Works DH for Dark Hallow. Clip point. This has got CPM 154 blade steel. I think that's Cerakote. I think. A single stud. And then on the other side, from that satin G10, is that beautiful blue and bronze anodized titanium frame. Got a little pocket wear on it. Titanium frame lock, beautiful engagement. It's rock solid. Blade centering is, what did I say? Very close to perfect. It's so hard to get perspective. You got black and blue. But it's pretty close. Single side Strider style lanyard tie there. Now, the action is smooth, but it's heavy. These are not flickers, right? Blade length on the dark hollow is 3 7/8. Handle is 5 1/4. We're calling this one excellent, no box. I think this knife was about $625 or $650 new. This one can be yours for $375, guys. $375, then $395 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Sniper Blade Works DH clip point. Next up. Interesting pouch, wouldn't you say? Let's see what's inside there. Nothing. Oh, there did come this thing inside. From custom knife maker Greg Lightfoot. We have a Lightfoot custom bull whip. How pretty is that handle? Rocking that silver twill carbon fiber. Custom tied lanyard with the shark tooth encased in wire. How about that? That handle, by the way, 4 11/16 inches in length. From the handle comes this blade. Look at the asymmetrical swedge. Two-tone blade, so the primary bevel and the swedge are blasted and apparently acid washed because they're very dark. And then the flats are a hand-rubbed satin, kind of at this angle, right? The Lightfoot Shark maker's mark. It's a titanium liner lock, very thick titanium liner, superb lockup. Again, heavy action, not a flicker. Blade centering, hard to see with the asymmetrical swedge, but it's beautiful. Smooth, secure, very, very nice. One thumb stud, riding on phosphor bronze. Man, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Your price on this one, I don't know how much it was new, $600 or $700. But your price, $400 like it is, $425 with an Apostle P edge. 154 cm is your blade steel, by the way. Next day sharpening available if you're one of the first 6. That's the Greg Lightfoot Custom Bull Whip. And the last knife in the sale is a sweetie from Kirby freaking Lambert. Look at that. Carbon fiber bolsters. Chocolate brown linen micarta scales. You recognize the handle shape? You're right. It is a snap. Yeah, 4.5 inches of handle. From the handle flies that thing of beauty. Oh my. Oh my. Hand rub bidirectional satin, the Lambert Spider. Oh my. IKBS. Titanium liner lock. Rock solid. Blade centering. Beautiful. Flipping action. Needs no effort. Needs no effort. It just flies. Unless you open it into your background. Wow. Wow. Near mint to like new, no box. 154 cm is your blade steel. The Kirby Lambert Custom Snap. Your price, $450, $450, and $475 with an Apostle P edge on it. Next day sharpening available if you're one of the first 6. I could not find this knife in stock anywhere, by the way. Wow. What a beauty. We'll just set that down. That's all for this one, my friends. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the Word is sharp. Have at her, boys.